This morning, I was at Senate Elementary School where our PBL team, and that's a third, fifth, and sixth grade team, were doing their ancient civilization musical. And each group had an ancient civilization. The ones that you see here is India. And they had to create a song that demonstrated what they learned and knew about their ancient civilization and its impact on today. And so it was a great way to start my morning. They had two of my favorite songs. One was Harry Styles' As It Was. The other was Jake's Golden Hour. And they sang about China, and I forgot what the other one was. Egypt, to those songs. But this group, India, they chose to create their own tune. And in various ways, they used instruments. And one of the standouts students was one young man. He was a fifth grader, and he was super excited to get online, to get on stage. He came on stage, he cheered, then he crossed himself, and he was smiling and moving with the music as his teammates were each doing their part. And then it was time for him, and I thought he was going to, I wasn't sure if he was going to go forward because he was so nervous. I could see it in his body, the way he was moving. I could hear it in his barely audible voice, which got stronger as he went on. And I was just amazed. And I have to say, I got a little verklempt thinking about, and I asked myself, why am I feeling this way? And it's because it's such joy to see when kids are demonstrating something that they've learned and doing it where they're all having fun and their parents are there and their peers are there and other educators are there, and they have an audience to demonstrate what they've learned, and they're creating something with what they learned. And I later was talking with the teachers and found out that that young man is one of our students in our special day classes. And that made it even more powerful because here we are including students so that they can be more than what they would be if they weren't included in the general ed. And that's one example of how when we personalize and reach out to kids, we increase our attendance. Yeah. And speaking of attendance, this point in time, we've dipped about 0.15%. We have a current average daily attendance of 95.92. And this shows what our total enrollment is to date. It's 10,245, and you can see today we had 96.12% in attendance. So we have little ways to get back up there to where we were trending before the winter vacation, and I'm certain that we will, because I know that all of our school teams are still cheering along their team members and along with their team members, other learners, and also family members. I also want to point out and thank you to Mr. Forstner and the department teams for updating our organizational charts. So if you're ever interested in who's who and who does what, these are our general organizational charts, and they're found on our webpage under under district teams all the way down here. And you can click through and see all of our different teams. And then if you want to find out a little bit more about what they do, if you go to the district teams, under here you can click on each individual one, and it will show you what each person does and give you some information about what they oversee and also areas that you might find of interest and that you might have questions about. And finally, I'm excited with Director Chen Song. We have begun our AI task force work. Last night was our first meeting to work on the technology plan. And after reviewing everybody's who was in attendance and their school sites, that they represented. We have only 3 schools without reps, and we will have a rep for them by the end of the week. And those are Pomeroy, Rose, and Calaveras Hills High School. At our meeting last night, we established 4 AI working groups. One is on classroom tech for TK through adult. Another is focused on how do we integrate technology, and mind you that AI is technology. How do we integrate that when we're looking at STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, math, with project-based learning? And then also, how do we make sure that everything is equitably accessible to our learners from different backgrounds, different abilities, and also from different income levels? And then finally, how do we use AI and technology so that we can support our special populations, such as learners who are neurodivergent, learners who are, it's kind of an old term, but gifted, that could also be considered under neurodivergent possibly, and also English learners, and a variety of other ways that learners need to be supported. So that's what the AI task force is working on. To the left in the picture, you see each group developed a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And right now, each group is working over the next month on a homework assignment, which is how does AI provide possibilities in answering their what-if questions that they also formulated last night. And our next meeting is February 10th from 5:30 to 7. And that concludes my this portion of the superintendent's report.